participants present over here. Welcome all of you at the one-day workshop on development of future startup based on artificial intelligence organized by Institution Innovation Council and Innovation Club of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management. I am Madhumita Ray, Assistant Professor of Computer Science and Engineering Department, have privileged to be the host of today's session. So now I would like to request our Honorable Principal Ma'am, Professor Mohua Dash, to say a few words about the workshop. Please, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Madhumita. A very good afternoon to all of you. Students, my dear students, those who are in third year and fourth year, I think you haven't heard this term previously, the IIC and Innovation Club. Those are newly established in our institute, whatever. So I am mentioning these words because I want to emphasize on the importance of innovation. That's why. Okay. Do you know what is innovation? Do you have any idea what is innovation? You know, sometimes you are telling, yes, I have an idea, but you are not telling that, yes, I have an innovation. So what is the difference between idea and innovation? Actually, innovation is also an idea, but it is that idea which can be transformed into practical reality. Now, when we are coming to business, this may be, the innovation may be a product, maybe a process, maybe a business concept, or maybe the combination which can be activated in the marketplace and produce new profits and growth for the organization. My dear students, you are too young, and I think the startup concept, is it clear to you what is startup? Startup is actually some small companies, but they can play a significant role in economic growth. You know, during this COVID pandemic, what is the condition of our economy? The startup, they can help us a lot. They create more jobs, which means more employment. More employment means an improved economy. Not only that, the startups can also contribute to a dynamic economy by spurring innovation and injecting competition. They are the main driving force behind economic development and the increase of productiveness in a knowledge-based society. Actually, startup companies are the most suitable platform where you can implement your inventions, your innovation, and consequently, the best mechanism for commercializing technological and other novelties. Startup companies contribute to a quick development of new technologies and the location where they operate. Large companies often buy startup companies because of technology that they then integrate into their business and thus keep their competitive advantage. So I think now it is clear to you why we are focusing on this workshop, future startup development on the basis of artificial intelligence, and the majority of developed countries in a knowledge-based society encourage startup entrepreneurship from the aspect of investment into the future, as well as from the aspect of actively designing long-term economic policy. You know, make in India slogan. And to make our India, we need more and more startup. Today, we have Mr. Shobhu Majumdar from Apollonius Computational Business Solution OPC Private Limited, Kolkata. We welcome Mr. Majumdar in this virtual platform, and I am confident that this workshop will be very fruitful to our students, and we will get more and more innovative ideas from our student also by being encouraged from this type of workshop. Hope that we will have Mr. Mojumdar with us for more and more engaging session and for more help for our institute. Thanking you all. Over to Madhu.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now, before starting the session, here is the brief profile of today's speaker, Mr. Shobhu Mojumdar. Mr. Shobhu Mojumdar, director and founder of Apollonius Computational Business Solutions, OPC Private Limited, the creator of first voice bot in Bengali. He is an alumnus from the IIT Kharagpur with specializing in optimization engineering and artificial intelligence, and MTech in industrial safety engineering from IIEST Shibpur. He has a deep understanding of cloud computing, machine learning, big data technologies, natural language processing, computer vision, and deep learning. He is also an expert of industrial safety engineering. He has 9 years of experience as consultant and expert of integrating AI stacks and enterprise-graded solutions across different industry problems. So now the next session is over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam, Principal Madam, and Madhumita for giving me a nice introduction. So today the session, as it states, that it's about creating the nurturing the young minds for the future entrepreneurship. And the organizing committee, I must say, has given enough endeavor to look into the fact that from the students of tomorrow, from the job seekers, they should be job creator. And that is the need of the hour. I will go into more details that why we need such kind of talents in our society, that I will going to discuss once I will going to present with you all. So good evening to all my dear students who are present along with me for this particular session. So to begin,
excuse me, sir. Sir, please provide the form once again. Some students want to get the form, sir. Please.
Yeah, sure. I think I have shared it once here. I can paste it, okay? Here is a chat box right here. Yeah. So I have shared, so please check it out. Good evening to all my students. To begin with, I understand that this is a very hard time you're undergoing due to the pandemic situation. For the last 1.5 years, we all are struggling. So it's not that you are only struggling due to the closure of your college and day-to-day activities along with your friends. We are also struggling because we are also not getting our colleagues to work with us. So this is a situation, but again, I wish that we all come out of this tough time very soon. And let me begin with my presentation, right? And during the presentation, if any one of you have got any doubt, you can please put up to me. I'll be more than happy to clarify your doubt. You can write it down in your chat box. I will be looking into it, and I'll be more than happy to reply back to you. So is my computer screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes.
So my company, let me give you a little bit brief bio about this particular company. So Apollonius, this as you all know, he was a great Greek mathematician known as Apollonius of Perga. He lived in the 326 BC in the city of the Perga, right? And I chose this name because he was the father of the conics section, and there is an archive of his original writings available at the Cambridge University. So we are also the business partner of IBM. So I established my company as a formal company as in the year 2020 during the pandemic only, month of July. And within 1 month of establishing our company, we actually got the partnership with IBM. This was due to the fact that we actually, before the establishment of a company formally, we actually did some work in the area of artificial intelligence, which actually Madam already told that we actually developed a voice bot, which is basically technically known as a conversational agent. And it was an architecture which I developed, and I recombined that particular architecture with the BART NLU architecture of IBM. So then the CEO of IBM, Mr. Krishnan, he actually liked that particular product very much. So he gave me the opportunity and my company to become the IBM partner from the very first 15-20 days. It was just 15-20 days. We became the partner of IBM. And we enjoy a lot of benefits and how your college and you students can take the benefit of this particular technology stack. I'll be telling you during the course of my presentation. So, what are you expecting? My question. So I just say that banging your heads on a boring sessions of AI up on Turing concept. So sorry, this will change the way you look at AI. So what is basically Turing machine and the heuristics, the computer vision and critical mathematical expression of the linear. So I'm going to explain you how to actually exploit artificial intelligence in and how you can actually develop yourself as a future entrepreneur. So nowadays, entrepreneur is tough. You just around 5 years back, entrepreneurship was only limited to people who were rich and affluent and had Hello?
Hello, sir, are you there? Hello?
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible now. But voice is lagging sometimes, sir.
Yeah. So, okay. So I just again share the screen, right? So, yeah, what I was actually saying that 5 years, down the line, actually entrepreneurship was only limited to the people who were having good finance and asset, but nowadays the situation is totally different. Only you need innovative ideas in your mind, you need innovation, you need creativity and hard work and perseverance. So these are the 4 components which can actually cook up your recipe. So how you can do that? Let me explain to you. Okay. So what is our principle of AI? Let us explain you. So this can give you a little bit of motivation, like how you can actually build your thought process for the artificial intelligence. So we call AI is for augmenting intelligence and supporting what humans do, not replacing them. So, students, there is a kind of a notion that artificial intelligence is going to replace all human work, but that is not the truth. Human will going to do their work, but human will going to interact with the system in a more intelligent way. and more output, more computational output can be expected using the artificial intelligence. So that is the main purpose of AI. So that is not the notion that that human effort and the human labor will going to be replaced. The second part is the transparency. So we believe that data, like your data, our data, the data which is, the data is known as the gold, the new gold. So the data is your data, committed to transparency about how our systems were trained and the data to use them to train. So whatever data you use, so that will be only used for the training purpose. And the skills, so AI system must be trained by and support the human professionals in the industry. So what I mean to say this, that to train an AI system, we always need a human to train it. So AI system doesn't get trained by itself. So you need the various machine learning algorithms to train an AI system. So again, therefore there is a huge requirement of trained professionals in the field of artificial intelligence. So already I think Madhumita madam had given a lot of introductions about me. So just to say a little bit that basically I started my career as a risk engineer with Larsen & Toubro, and I was actually posted in the Middle East for some time in Dubai and followed by Saudi Arabia. And to be very honest, let me say I founded my company with just 15,000 rupees, and what told it was actually developed with something around 9,000 rupees. So I was interviewed by one of the journalists from Times of India. So he surprisingly asked that what was the investment for this development of this voice bot. So I said, sir, it should be something around 9,000 rupees. So he said that you must be joking with me because a voice bot cost him crores. So how can you develop with 9,000 rupees? I said that, sir, I use the public cloud infrastructure of IBM. So if you are using a public cloud infrastructure of IBM, so you don't have to pay anything for utilizing it. And since it was for social, so I said I'm not making any profit, so I'm not putting my overhead onto the product. Eventually, that particular voice bot actually got its copyright under the software category from the government of India as an authentic architectural algorithm for the multilingual intelligent conversation system. So this is called the entrepreneurship, where you have your own idea, you have your own architecture, you have your own algorithm, you give your effort. So money is nothing. So you have the support system from Google, you have support system from IBM, Microsoft. There are a lot of companies who are supporting this entrepreneurship venture. Only the thing is that you as a budding student should have your creative minds and ideas, which must foster your efforts and your hard work to develop something new. It doesn't mean that you have to spend a lot of money, nothing, you don't have to. And you trust me, this particular voice bot was developed by some interns like you from different Indian colleges of West Bengal. That time my company was not as a formal established company. So I started with I asked few of the students that whether they were interested to participate in this particular social project or not. Some of them came up and said, yes, we are agreed, we can work along with you. So we started working in one room of my apartment. And it was this was a shared kind of work, working on different machines, then using TeamViewer to collaborate with each other. And eventually within 2 months, we first came up with the first version of this particular voice bot. So this is how the entrepreneurship is actually driven. You don't need money, you didn't need big plush office, you don't need that, you need just an idea. That idea should be created within yourself. And I really appreciate that your college has taken this effort to establish a cell which is going to nurture your inquisitive mind for creating something new out of you. So, again, I come to a next point of my discussions that, studying engineering is not just giving some examination, reading few papers, textbooks, and doing some lab. That is actually a part of your curriculum, which has been set by your university. So that is a part of your academic pedagogy. But as an engineer, your job is something more than that. Being an engineer, you should understand that you are actually supposed to create a difference in the society by exploiting your capability of inquisitive mind of how you can use the technology to develop something new. So that is called engineering. You may be a computer science engineer or a civil engineer or mechanical engineer or electrical engineer, that doesn't matter. What matters is that how you can infuse computer science into your civil engineering, or how you can infuse mechanical engineering into computer science, or how you can develop something with, like electrical, some kind of electrical solutions using AI. Or so it's more of an amalgamation of the technology. So from now onwards, you must understand that disciplines are just for the sake of granting your degree. So when you step into your real life, you will find that you are really doing everything together. So you are at the same time mechanical engineer, civil engineer, electrical engineer. So it doesn't make a lot of difference when you're in the real job field, right? So that is what you should inculcate within yourself. So that is the kind of a transformation of your mentality. The transformation of mentality, transformation of attitude should come within you. And that will going to drive your thrust for creating something new, right? And once you get that, you see that you are creating a big difference for your society, for your college, and eventually for yourself as a whole. So let me say you, like, what is AI for sustainable and inclusive career? Think, like, I want to ask some questions to you. I know that I will not get feedback from 81 participants. I'm really overwhelmed to see that so many participants have come up to listen to me. So my first question is that, are you ready for the next gen career? That is my first question, because artificial intelligence is basically the next generation. It is the next generation where you all will have to land up. In the year something around the age of 2010, 2010 or something, that 2000 to 2010 era, it was more of an enterprise software era. Enterprise software era, when I say it, is more of like software development using Java or .NET. So those are known as enterprise software era. So all the organizations were actually developing their own software solutions. So it was an era of web-based enterprise solutions. Since 2010 onwards, it was an era of big data, which actually was the predecessor of this AI revolution. Though AI was actually there since the Second World War. You must have heard about Alan Turing, so the Enigma code and all these things. So he was actually the father. Then MacArthur was there. So these great scientists actually developed the artificial intelligence from a conceptual level. But without the flow of the enormous amount of data, artificial intelligence, the true capability of artificial intelligence were not being harnessed. But once the evolution of this big data technologies and data coming from all the sources, that is known as the open source data, were actually flowing into the system. So the scientists and the practicing engineers in the domain of artificial intelligence and machine learning, they were ready to implement the concepts of AI into more pragmatic and more pragmatic solutions. And they started exploring that how to work with the natural language processing, how to work with more image processing, and like computer vision and robotics. Nowadays is more of IoT. So I will speak a little bit of IoT also. That how so it's now from AI to more advanced level, like blockchain technologies, IoT, Industry 4.0, supply chain 4.0. So these are more new things are coming up. So this is the generation. So when you will be graduating from your college, you will be actually being a part of this entire AI ecosystem, because nowadays every organization is actually including AI in their mission critical process. Last week, actually, I was attending Think 2021, that is the annual conference of IBM, and I was listening to some of their top scientists and executives from there, and what is the next vision of IBM at a global scale. So they say there is a more of a hybrid cloud modernization, and that hybrid cloud modernizations along with artificial intelligence. So, like pandemic, situation of pandemic, work from home, study from home, and all these things have been a new opportunity for the tech organizations to go for a digital modernization. And I say that Mr. Krishnan, Arvind Krishnan, the CEO of IBM, he said that the kind of digital revolution which was actually thought for the coming 10 years actually happened within 10 months. So this was the rapid growth of artificial intelligence based solutions combined with, hybrid cloud infrastructure. And that actually gave to a new, shape of how the technology is being driven and how the technology will be used. So you being a programmer or an architect or an algorithmist, you will be actually working for this kind of technologies. So now my next question is that, are you only a job seeker? So I believe that be prepared to also start your own venture. And trust me, starting your own entrepreneurship venture only needs your creative idea, only needs your creative brain and hard work. That is the combination of two things you need, which are going to change your status from a job seeker to a job giver. So you can create your job for the society, and you can directly contribute to the economy. So, just I tell you a funny part of my story. When I used to work, I used to pay my income tax. So all my faculty members and friends from the academic fraternity, they know that they have to pay their income tax. So it was good. So everyone has to pay their income tax. So I was also paying my income tax. So, like there was a slab which changed for the income tax, Eventually, when I started my business, so I had to register my business with the GST. So now for in my segment of business, it is 18% GST I had to pay. So now what happened is that if I would have worked now, maybe my rate of paying the income tax would have been less than the 18%. So now I'm contributing more to the economy by paying the GST. So that is actually I'm giving more to the economy. So that is how being an entrepreneur, you can give more to the economy. In addition to that, you have a lot of autonomy. That is another thing you can enjoy. You have a lot of autonomy. You will be creating a stature for yourself where you can actually give yourself a wing of freedom, where you don't have to be a kind of a person who have to listen to order, but you will be actually making some difference for the entire society and the economy as a whole. Third very important question is that, are you AI ready? That is very important thing. So that is so when I am saying that, are you ready for the next generation career? Are you ready for becoming an entrepreneur? Then the very pertinent question comes into mind. Are you AI ready? Because that is the skill you need to have. Until you have the skill with yourself, you cannot actually get yourself ready for the next generation career and starting something of your own. So then comes the fourth question. Do you know what skills the corporate wants? Because at the end of the day, when you are working for someone or you are starting your own venture, at the end of the day, you have to depend on some of the other clients, the corporate clients, So they have to know like what the corporate clients really want, what skills they want. what kind of expectations they have in their mind while they will going to do a business with you. So next question, next thing comes in my mind is that, you know, searching for a job seems to be easier than searching for a business, because here you have to approach to the top boss of an organization who will actually give you the business. So to convince them, to convince an HR or a middle level technical person is much easier than convincing the top boss of the organization who has actually built a particular company. So am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are
Hello?
audible.
Yeah. So, you know, that is more difficult thing. So you have to be more confident enough in what you are trying to deliver to your client. So next, again, the question comes that, are you skilled? So if you have all these 5 ingredients along with you, then are you ready to stand apart? So what I mean to say standing apart means that, are you ready to create a difference from the rest of your friends? See, if I'm addressing today's 79 to 80 participants in this particular session, I can expect at least 10% of you would be interested to venture into a career of entrepreneurship. And a career of entrepreneurship is both fun-filled as well as it is challenging. I will not going to say what are the challenges, because there are a lot of challenges. But again, you know, overcoming the challenges one by one actually builds you more confident enough. So that is a kind of a character which you're going to imbibe within yourself. So since your college days, if you start your process of thinking something new, prototyping some kind of concept, developing a business plan and pitching it to the investor, will give you more confidence and make you more acumen than the rest of your folks of your same age group. So that is something, a skill, you know, that is something, a skill. It's a technical skill, it's a business skill, it's a convincing skill, it's a challenging skill which actually takes your sleep of the night. And again, you feel that when you create something, when you see that your name is there on the front page of the newspaper, you are there in the TV channel, people are talking about you, you suddenly feel that yes, you have created a difference. The difference is nothing but you have actually ventured into the path of an entrepreneurship, right? So let me come into the next part of it, like where you can venture yourself as an entrepreneur. What are the new areas, you know? AI is a broader concept. I call it AI as a Mahabharata because it is something about the philosophy. But applications of AI, nowadays it's more of applications of AI, you know. So what are the applications? The applications are blockchain. Then comes the AI ops. I will touch upon the AI ops, quantum machine learning, and ML ops. So these are the 4 areas, you know, which are future trend setters. I think most of you have heard about the blockchain technologies, fintech, blockchain, you know. So these are the disruptive technologies which are more agnostic to the newer changes. So blockchain is there in the financial sector, in the governance, and more like it again gets connected with IoT. So you will feel, so you have a lot of opportunities to create your blockchain solutions and actually develop something of your own for that. Next very important area is AI ops. So I don't know like how many of you have heard about this term. So AI ops is the next generation of artificial intelligence. So AIOps stands for Artificial Intelligence Operationalization. This is something a very new thing, you know. This is for the internal IT infrastructure operations to be driven by artificial intelligence is known as AIOps. So this is an area where you can actually learn and invest your effort and develop your own customized solutions. Next comes the quantum machine learning. So, you know, for last 2-3 days, just because of this particular talk, I was actually nurturing about this quantum thing, you know. So quantum is the next thing which will come up in the next 2 to 3 years down the line, and more of like quantum computing in with an application of finance, quantum computing with an application of supply chain management. And again, IBM provide you a quantum platform that is known as IBM Quantum to develop your own quantum solutions free of cost. And that will actually be another area where you can venture. And finally is the MLOps. So MLOps is again a very important area, that is operationalizing the machine learning operations. So what is that I mean? Suppose you have built a machine learning algorithm or a model. You have developed your own model and it is in operation, right? Now you can actually check the health of that particular model using certain techniques. Those are probabilistic techniques which actually check the model performance. So it can be anomaly detection. So there is one thing like anomaly detection. So these are some applications of ML ops. So these are the 4 important areas. One is the blockchain, second is AI ops, third is the quantum machine learning or quantum natural language processing or quantum computing based finance for the portfolio management, risk management or quantum computing based supply chain management, or eventually the 4th area is the ML ops. So these are the areas where you can actually look into for your future growth. So any question from the audience till what I have actually described to you? So if you have any question, please write down in the chat box. I'll be answering to your questions. So any question if you have.
Audience, if you have any questions, you may ask now.
So next, coming to the fact that how AI is changing the engineering landscape. So that is another area. So I have actually summarized it for your better understanding with respect to your college only, that is engineering stream, whatever you have in your college, CSE, ECE, electrical, mechanical, civil, and recombining it with artificial intelligence. What are the kind of the competencies you can develop? For example, CSE plus AI, you can be an AI engineer or a machine learning engineer or a deep learning engineer or an AI ops engineer. For the ECE students, electronics and communication engineering students, they can be an IoT engineer, cyber security engineer, and eventually AIOps. So AIOps is actually for everyone. So anyone can become an AIOps professional. Suppose for an electrical engineer, you can be a robotics engineer, a quantum computing based developer, or an engineer. Even for the mechanical people, that people might from the mechanical engineering, they might think that how we can explore the AI, you know. So I will actually at IIT we have a kind of department which is known as an advanced manufacturing engineering center, recently opened up at IIT Kharagpur. So they are trying to develop things with relevance to Industry 4.0, smart manufacturing, reliability engineering. So these are the areas, you know, as a mechanical engineer, you can recombine artificial intelligence and start developing. For the civil engineering, again, there are things like AI-driven construction, engineering, predictive analysis of your design or building. So all can be done using AI. So no stream is actually, so you have, for each and every stream, you have an opportunity where you can apply artificial intelligence and you can develop your own product or own solution. Because prima facie in artificial intelligence domain, there are two techniques are used, you know. One is the natural language processing, another is the computer vision. So if you have grasp of these two techniques, that is natural language processing and computer vision, you know, you can apply it in any areas. For example, you want a smart inspection system in your shop floor. This may be applicable for mechanical engineer or electrical engineer. So how will you going to do that? Very easy. You need to actually analyze the image captured by the various cameras installed within your premise, within your factory premise, and you can do the analysis, right? So that is basically a part of a computer vision. For a civil engineer, actually, we as a company have got a very specialized area which should develop, that is a predictive based industrial safety. You know, most of the civil engineers will be entering into construction company. So in the construction company, when you will be working at your construction site, you will see that safety plays a very important role over there. And how the safety is managed, the safety is actually managed by some safety engineers or safety officers or safety stewards. But with inclusion of computer vision along with natural language processing and analytics, we have actually come up with a plan of a predictive based industrial safety, where we were going to predict the occurrence of an accident at a particular site before it actually happens. So that is the beauty of how AI can be involved. So I actually keep on thinking, like, in particular which area, even I think like how I can actually include AI in my cooking system also, because I feel like if I can include some kind of AI in cooking, if I can include some kind of AI. So, you know, AI can be implemented everywhere. You just need an idea. You just need a brilliant idea, like how you can actually implement AI, you know. So AI is nothing but it's just similar to calculus. You know, calculus is there everywhere. Whether you're an electrical engineer, a mechanical engineer, civil engineer, or say CSE, CE, whatsoever, we all do calculus, right? What I forgot, maybe multivariate calculus and all these things, right? So we all do that. We all apply it in our individual. So calculus is something, an integral ingredient of our engineering curriculum. Similar way, AI will going to become an integrated and compulsory ingredient of your engineering life. That is the beauty of AI, because every processes will going to be upgraded. If you have by chance read the Niti Aayog report on our futuristic AI, that is a vision, you have known that the government has decided to implement AI in every sector, starting from agriculture to healthcare to education. Then you have industry, as well as in the supply chain management and the governance. So all the sectors, government has planned to integrate AI. That is why government has specifically came up with an AI strategy for India, that is under the Niti Aayog. I would appreciate that every one of you actually read that particular report, then you can understand what crucial role the artificial intelligence will be playing and how you can actually exploit and nurture AI to build up your own startup solutions. Because all the major companies will only going to provide you the platform. That is the future. Companies like Hewlett Packard, IBM, Google, Microsoft, they will going to provide you the platform. Upon the platform, you will have to develop your own solution. And that is the startup ecosystem, because major companies will going to provide you all the tools and techniques and some kind of solutions and platforms, but you have to develop your things based on that. That is the beauty, how you collaborate with the big organizations, as small startups can take the benefit of such ecosystems. So eventually you can say that these big organizations are indirectly your investors for your future. And and for that, you don't have to invest any money. That is the beauty, because most of these companies are providing you their cloud platform for free. They are providing you their cloud platform for free. So you don't have to invest a single money. So what you have to invest is your idea, your creativity. So what I expect, which I will come at a later point of that, what offerings I have for the students of GKC EM, I will come to that point. But let me say that this is how you can develop, you can nurture yourself. And this is the time, from second year onwards, second year, third year, and fourth year, you can actually develop your own model, make up a team, build up your own kind of a team, come up with a solution. Because when I had my meeting with principal madam, I came to know the vision of the particular wing, the industry academia collaboration cell. So she expressed her vision, and based on that, I felt that at least a single college in West Bengal should have this particular amplitude and capability to be the first engineering college in West Bengal, which will be a 100% AI literate college. Studying a paper of AI in your 7th sem or 8th sem doesn't actually make you an AI engineer. Becoming an AI engineer is basically a holistic approach of integrating and thinking and dreaming and developing something out of AI and integrating with your own curriculum. Maybe you can devise your own grading system, you can devise your own student counselor using some kind of chatbot. You can devise your own academic management system. You can devise your own virtual lab. So that is how you can integrate artificial intelligence in every process of your college, and thereby making your college a first AI-enabled college of West Bengal. So that should be a cumulative and a collective effort that you must take as a student, and some of you can be the leader along with the professors of your college whom I interacted when I visited your college, and I found that it's an excellent environment you have. So you, the students, have to develop it. So let me say that which are the areas where myself, on behalf of my company, can guide you to become an AI-enabled system. That is, first is the common, that is machine intelligence and AI, blockchain technologies, quantum machine learning, and predictive-based safety that I already discussed with you, and prosthetic technology. So prosthetic technology is an area where mechanical engineers can play a very crucial role. And to guide you for this particular project on prosthetic technology, our company's board of advisor consisting of professors from Kharagpur IIT, they will be directly guiding you to develop this capability of prosthetic technology and 3D, AI-based 3D technology. For the predictive-based safety also, we have professors from Kharagpur IIT who will be guiding you to develop more deliverable models, For quantum machine learning, we have Professor Omran Chakraborty from the University of Calcutta. He is a great scientist in this particular domain. And I am being very fortunate enough to have a kind of a learning relationship with him. And I want that you as a student of GKC-EM should take the advantage of learning from this kind of stalwarts, and developing yourself as more proficient and efficient professionals. So again, I'm asking any question from your side, so I'll be more than happy to answer to all of you. Hello?
Students, do you have any questions? If you have any doubt.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, good enough. I will catch you up later on because I have all the email IDs, so I will go to send you some questions which you need to answer, right? And there will be some kind of a goodies. The best participants will going to get that, right? So these are the areas where from behalf of our organizations, we can nurture you, guide you, right? So in the past, we have conducted such kind of internships. I call it internship for the students of IIT Kharagpur. Last year, I conducted an internship of around 7 students from the Kharagpur IIT on a project on natural language processing. This very year, we have conducted an internship of 7 students, again, 7, I think 8 students from the MSc Data Science program of Ramakrishna Mission University at Belur. We regularly conduct internships for the students for MSc Statistics from the University of Calcutta, and there are some students from Benares Hindu University joined us. We also conducted internship for the University of Kalyani University MSc Data Science, and also their engineering college. 3 students from their engineering college have done their internships under our guidance. So our collaborations are like, as an organization, our collaborations are with, we have collaborations with IMI Kolkata, International Management Institute Kolkata, which is basically RP Sanjeev Goenka Group Business School. We are also launching a joint management development program for the Southeast Asia Pacific region along with Asian Institute of Technology Bangkok. So that will be focused for the more of a government and business sector. There is also a kind of an under approval for the certificate program with Macau. Along with that, we are in a talk with launching a certificate program with the University of South Florida, with the school, their School of Information System. So we'll be launching a particular certificate program with them. And also we are, as I told you, like, we have the strategic partnership with IBM for enabling the AI enthusiasts. So that is what I can deliver to you as a student. And we are also being at the final stage of IBM Q network, that is the IBM Quantum Network, which is under the approval. So if we get this particular approval from the IBM, then what we have planned in our mind is that we'll be actually establishing an IBM Quantum Lab for your college. And the beauty of this Quantum Lab would be that it will be a virtual lab, and all of you, since you are not able to rejoin your in-campus life in your college, you can exploit and you can use this IBM Q Lab from your home and start working on developing your own project. And the same goes that I have also a proposal for your college for you students is that we can offer an IBM Watson lab as well for your college. And that is also a cloud-based lab wherein you as a student can start working with your artificial intelligence, machine learning, or data science projects. So these are the two labs which are going to enable your college towards a complete AI-enabled college of West Bengal. Because I think these are the kind of, you know, the enablement which is required for you guys to come up with new solutions, new ideas. Because until and unless you do something by your own, you cannot understand that what is the complexity. Because just saying a term that artificial intelligence, a big buzzword, machine learning, data analysis, data science, blah, 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 you know, cloud computing and all, these are only theoretical, you know, until and unless you actually mix all the ingredients together and start cooking yourself, then you will find that there is something missing or something extra. So that will actually give you a pre-entrepreneurship training. You know, I call it a pre-entrepreneurship training because before investing a single money from your pocket and before actually venturing into the true domain of entrepreneurship, you can actually get a flavor like how you can develop your own solutions by yourself using this technology, and this comes for free, you know. So that is how you can develop. So what we can offer from our side is that because I know that I know 1 hour or 1.5 hours of lecture will not suffice the requirement of your like your training or your inquisitiveness. So what we can do is that for the interested people who will be interested to start and learn AI or say quantum computing, we provide an industry-based guided internship with IBM Cloud and IBM Quantum. So what we generally follow is that in our internship program, it is where we ask you to bring your own problem. So I have given you some ideas. Now you have to generate your own ideas where you can actually include AI, and we as a company, as an organization, we will going to provide you the best people in the industry and academia to guide you, to mentor you, and with the support of the cloud infrastructure if you're going for AI. And if some of you are interested for the quantum projects, then IBM Quantum Platform. So maybe this is a kind of a pre-warm-up for yourself. And trust me, let me tell you, this particular exercise will going to build a lot of confidence in you, because you will be actually working with the real life scenario. You will be actually facing the complexities out from your textbook, and you will be working on a real platform, and eventually you will be developing your solutions of your own. So that is our internship model, which we can offer to you as an organization, so that you can become more resilient. Not an internship just to say an internship, but an internship which will actually leverage your capability, your inquisitiveness, and your engineering proficiency. So what are the areas we generally provide the kind of internship? The internships where we provide are mainly on artificial intelligence. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
So the areas which we generally wish to provide an internship for your college is that
তুই খালি পাই না
artificial
একটু বাড়াবো
Hello, everyone, mute yourself. Shomiron, please mute yourself. Okay, sorry. Okay, sir. You continue.
Yeah. So it should be AI ops will be the special topic, and quantum optimization will be another area wherein we would like to nurture you. So for AI ops, we will be actually mentored by engineers from IBM, and for quantum optimization, you will be nurtured by Professor Amlan Chakraborty, who is an eminent scientist from the domain of quantum computing. So this is the broad area of training and internship which we can offer to you to grow yourself, to nurture yourself. So within the 2 months of an internship, we generally don't ask you to directly jump into some kind of project, but we also ask you to learn something. That is, we give you a kind of a refresher, because we understand that like most of the students, if they are from a diverse background, they don't have a foundation knowledge of machine learning, artificial intelligence, or deep learning ecosystem, right? So what we do is that we generally provide a kind of a training. That training means we teach different aspects of machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning technologies, and make you guys confident enough to do the real life project. Because until and unless you have some kind of the background understanding of what you're working with, it is also not well enough that you actually can deliver, right? So it actually becomes too vague. Because suppose for a mechanical engineer, they have to know that what is machine learning, what is artificial intelligence, how the deep learning work, what is convolutional neural network for image processing, and all these things. So until and unless you know all these things, it's very difficult. It's pretty difficult to actually develop some kind of model with that. So for that, we generally conduct training. So that is what we do. Like, we train and we put you on a practical project. So that is the methodology we actually follow. So we give you some kind of a classroom input, and followed by simultaneously you will be actually given the task to do some kind of your own innovative processes. So how our internship is different? So how our internship is different is that solve your own problem using AI, right? Apollonius and IBM will guide your team to solve your problems. Congrats, the journey of entrepreneurship begins. So this is how the entrepreneurship actually works. You have your problem. We are there to help you out, and a combination of effort from your side and our side, and obviously from the IBM support, your journey of entrepreneurship will going to begin. And eventually, by your 4th year, or say the end of your 4th year or second, or whichever you are, you will be there standing apart from the rest of your friends and crowds. You know that you have developed something of your own. You just don't have copied, or you don't have just marked up some theoretical aspects. You have delivered something of your own. So this is something I was going to share, because these are types of internship we generally provide. We don't charge anything for the internship, because that is a part of our initiative. We don't charge anything for the internship. As a part of a training fees, we charge something like 1,000. I think that this financial aspects, my general manager training, she takes care of this. So she will be, and I will be circulating it with your college. So I will not go into much. But the internship will be something of 2 months in nature. right? 2 months will be the total duration as a first initial step. Eligibility, I call it like any discipline student can participate. Eventually from second year onwards they can do, right? So if I speak of business, I can say that yes, it's like anyone can participate in this particular, because whenever you start developing some kind of model, you need students and friends and collaborators from every discipline. So if you're developing something for a mechanical problem, you're solving some mechanical problem using AI. So you have to have your mechanical friends along with your CS friends. So that is how the handshake really occurs. So the what is the takeaways? What you can do is that you will get dual certificate. The dual certificate in the sense that you will get a certificate of internship as well as a certificate of doing the course, what I mentioned. And there is a post-training opportunity for a paid BTech project for the best performing students. So those of who will be doing good in this particular internship will be given a paid BTech project. So we're going to pay you for your BTech project. So what are the benefits which we can deliver for your college through the students is that I have already told you 2 things. That is IBM Watson Cloud Lab for your college, IBM Quantum Lab exclusively for your college. You can learn the technology where IBM is investing, increase your potential as an AI engineer with the world-class technology, startup mentorship directly from me, and that comes at no cost. So I don't charge anything for the mentorship because I'm ready to share with all of you the struggles which I face on a daily basis. So I can share with you all these things. So I told you that I don't want to repeat again that what are the deliverables as I told you. And finally, our faculty members, like we have Professor Manjira Sinha, we have Professor Amna Chakrabarti, who is the director of AKC SIT. We have Shoda Mujumdar, he is the thought leader at IBM Analytics USA. Dr. Shumanto Mukherjee, he is from IIT Kharagpur. Professor Pavitra Mitra, he is also the professor of computer science and engineering of IIT Kharagpur. And obviously myself, I am always there, like standing whenever, whatever the problems are there, like technical, non-technical, anything, I'm always there. So I'm obviously a part of the delivery team. So these are they are our program advisor. We have Professor P. K. Ray from the Vinod Gupta School of Management. He's the Dean of Vinod Gupta School of Management. We have Professor S.P. Sharma, who is the HOD of Industrial and Systems Engineering. And then we have Professor Pavitra Mitra, Mr. Shoda Mujumdar, Mr. Karan Sachdeva, who is the Director for Watson and AI Applications in Asia Pacific for IBM. And we have Dr. Manjira Sinha. She is also a very bright professor from Kharagpur IIT, and with 10 years of experience in the domain of artificial intelligence across various industries and companies. So they are my company's board of advisors, and eventually they will going to directly or indirectly, they will guide you to sail you through the process. So some of our pictures, right, of our activities, and thank you very much for having been patient enough to listen to me. My heartfelt thanks to Professor Mohadash Madam for giving me this opportunity to speak, to enlighten the students of your college, and obviously Madhumita Madam, who had been coordinating with me for organizing this particular talk, and the entire family of GKC EM for giving me this opportunity to explain to you, to put before you the benefit of AI and how AI artificial intelligence will eventually going to change your career path, and eventually some of you would surely land up as an entrepreneur of future, whom I will see alongside by me creating something new. So this is our company. We are an ISO 9001 2015 certified company, registered under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India. So that's all from my side. And from the faculty members or students, any doubt, any kind of queries you have, you can please put forth to me.
Sir, one of our student asked a
Yes.
question. What is AI operations? I think AI hyphen OPS ops.
Yes. Yes. So this is a very new concept, like, every organization has got their own IT department, right? Every organizations, they have got their own IT department. So what happens, this IT departments needs maintenance. Sometimes there is a failure or anything, or there is some kind of issues happening, maybe in the database side or anywhere. So what happens is that there is a set of engineers who actually take care of maintenance and server and all these things. But AI ops is a kind of when you actually automate this entire process of your IT maintenance through artificial intelligence. And the work what an IT say a maintenance engineer takes, say like 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours to do, the AI or using AI ops, you can actually do it in a fraction of a second. So that is basically AI ops. So this is operationalizing your process, your IT process using artificial intelligence. So there is a solution of IBM which is known as a Cloud Pak for IT Ops, right? Cloud Pak for IT Ops, wherein you can actually integrate, you can actually be more resilient to tackle these serious failures. Like suppose, for example, I say an Amazon server is down for say 5 minutes, right? So you can understand the hefty quantum of loss Amazon has to pay. It can goes up to billions of dollars, right? So for example, you think that Facebook is down, so you can understand what kind of trauma and what kind of psychological upheavals will bring to your mind. So for that, this AI ops. So this is the newest concept, and companies like IBM, Microsoft, they are heavily investing in this particular domain. And these are the areas which will be the future of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence actually doesn't mean you are developing some kind of NLP solutions or computer vision based solution, but AI will be more integrated into the mission critical processes of your business. So that is one of the very interesting area where you can actually look into for your future growth. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. So another question is, it is putting down in the chat box that what is the best way to learn AI?
The best way to learn AI is that you should start working with AI. There is no textbook, because I have a frequent conversation with Stuart Russell. He's there in my LinkedIn. So both Stuart Russell and Peter Norvig, both of them are there in my LinkedIn. So I have I frequently talk with them. So I once asked, like, sir, your book is very famous and everyone uses it. So he himself said that this is scratch. So what's there good in that book? You actually have to develop something of your own. So learning AI is that you have to do some work with AI. You have to do some work. Just mugging up some kind of book of Peter Norvig and Stuart Russell or someone some kind of book will not going to help you, because that is only theoretical, and AI has gone far ahead to the theory. I don't know, like maybe the syllabus is still actually referring to that book only, right? Peter Norvig and Stuart Russell's, which I read some 10 years back. But you know, that is okay, because you have to know the fundamental. You have to know fundamental. But you know, the AI is now gone far advanced than that. So you have to start working. That's what I said. Like I want to see that maybe your college become an entire AI ready ecosystem wherein maybe like at least as a few good number of students can actually participate in some of the projects. So the projects, we can actually deliver you the projects, you can work towards the project with the mentorship of our advisors and myself, and you can develop some solutions. And if there is no better way than working on a real life work, you know. So there is a basic difference between engineering and, you know, a fundamental science. So while you are actually working on engineering projects, you have to actually do it hands-on. We call it hands-on. So hands-on means you have to see what are the struggles you can face, what are the blockades you have to face, and overcoming each and every step will going to make you learn more and more. So that is how you can actually learn AI. So that is only way you can learn AI. Develop some product, get a patent for the product, at least a copyright in your name for the product. That makes a lot of difference, you know. See, being a owner of a company, let me share one story with you. Being a owner of a company, I receive at least 10 to 15 resume per day. And every resume say that I am an excellent and a skilled in such and such field. But no resume show me any kind of, you know, demonstrated work. So when I take the interview, after all, I have to shortlist some of them. So when I take the interview and I ask that, have you done some kind of demonstrating model? Can you show me some of your work? They say, no, I haven't. So, you know, like if you don't have something to demonstrate, that makes nothing. Just let me show you something. We were recently working. Can you see my desktop? We actually recently
Yes, sir.
worked with the project. You know, this is one of the project we are presently working, known as oxygen management system. That is Oxyman. So for this project also, you know, some 8 or 9 students are working. So this is basically a project where we are trying to solve this oxygen crisis due to COVID-19, right? So you can see here the people who have developed it. So that is the demonstration. You see, developed and maintained by Sachidananda Tripathi and Samriddhi Ganguly. So if they write this particular name of that website in their resume, so this is a joint project by us and IIT Kharagpur, and Ramakrishna Mission is also part of this project. So whenever they will write the name of this particular website in their resume, and the recruiter will going to see that, okay, fine, these are the 2 main students who have actually worked for this project. So their name is there in the public domain, and they are developing it. So there are another 6-7 students who are working on the supply chain management optimization part. So this is a very good model we are trying to develop, you know, like where we will be connecting the volunteers with the you know, the oxygen supplier, and eventually trying to develop a kind understand like how the oxygen crisis and oxygen supply chain management can be improved. So this is, I call it a demonstratable model. Like you have something to demonstrate. This is also an AI based, because you can see over here there is a chatbot, and this chatbot is actually running in Watson. That is IBM Watson. This chatbot is actually running in IBM Watson, right? So there is an application of AI. Even when the supply chain model will be developed, we'll be using a lot of analytics for that, which is again AI. So the students will be working for this particular project, will actually, they will know that, okay, fine, they are the person who are working for it. So you have something to demonstrate, you have something to, and you know what is your coding, what you have coded, what kind of algorithm you have used. So there is no better way than doing it by your own. So once you do it by your own, that is the best way of learning. So that is what I personally believe, and that is the only way out to get to know something. You know, until and unless you work with your own hands, you face the complexities and the challenges, neither you can be a good engineer nor you can be a good leader, right? So that is what, yeah.
Sir, there is two questions from our students. That is,
Yes.
how
Yes.
mechanical industry is getting advanced with AI, and how is the job scope for mechanical students in this IT sector? And another question is how we get opportunity to take internship training.
Oh, that's good. Two questions, right? First one is the mechanical
Yeah,
engineering,
mechanical
right?
industry is getting advanced with AI, and how is the job scope for mechanical
Okay.
students in this IT sector?
Yes, absolutely. See, first of all, I will going to ask you to omit the term IT sector. Okay, so that is a very generic term. So students, please don't classify yourself like IT sector and non-IT sector. Those days are gone where you used to say like core company आ रहा है campus में, IT company आ रहा है campus में, ठीक है? तो वो दिन अब चला गया है, ठीक है? Okay, mechanical engineering. See, you must have heard about the term Industry 4.0. So Industry 4.0 is basically modernizing the entire process of a shop floor. For a mechanical engineer, it's always a production system, right? A shop floor using AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, natural language processing, sensors like a smart sensor system, that is IoT. So these all can be integrated together to modernize your entire production system. So if I say robotics, say nowadays most of our manufacturing system is basically robotics driven. So, you know, from the quality, that is a part of, you know, mechanical engineering is the quality control system, reliability, right? So all these things are getting modernized with the help of AI. And now what is the job scope? The job scope is that, see, once you know what is the trend setting and what is the industry is looking out for, maybe you can be a designer, mechanical designer, right? You can be a mechanical designer. You must be astonished to know that the software, say like AutoCAD, a very important software for the mechanical engineer. So these AutoCADs are today AI driven. Like you just have to give the detailed of your project, your site, right? And AutoCAD will going to suggest what kind of structural design you can develop. So previously what used to be done is that you have to make a blueprint of your design. That blueprint used to go to the site. In the site, as per the site conditions, again the design used to be changed. Because I worked for Larsen & Toubro for around 4 years, I know what is the process, how it is going to. So the designs were sent from our Chennai office to our Middle East office. And when it used to reach to our Middle East office, the site condition would be changed. You used to change the design, right? So a lot of time were actually wasted due to this changing and modification of this design. So nowadays AutoCAD, that Autodesk, the parent company, they have actually developed a solution where you can integrate the artificial intelligence based technique, wherein your design will automatically get changed once as per the site conditions. You just have to change certain dimensions and eventually the entire design will going to change. So that actually saves a lot of effort. Just a small example I shared with you. So maybe you are an AutoCAD engineer, right? Maybe you will be working as a design engineer, site design engineer, or maybe you will be a design department of your company. But until and unless you know artificial intelligence, you may not be in a position to work with such a software. So you have to know how to work with it. Perhaps that is how the things are getting integrated in every process, right? What is the second question, madam? Hello?
Sir, the second question is, okay,
Please tell me.
how we get opportunity to take internship training. This is the one thing. And another question is, sir, any internship option in your company as mechanical students also or not?
Yeah, I told I'm looking forward to develop your
Each and
college.
yeah.
Yeah, I told you actually I want this my vision that I want to develop your particular college uh, with students from all the disciplines, as I mentioned in my presentation slide also, to come up, develop a collaborative plan, and our organization will conduct the internship. As I told you, that we'll be conducting the internship along with IBM support, as I told you, because we are the business partner of IBM. So we have certain liberty, to do this kind of community engagement work. So we call it a community engagement work. So IBM also likes that people with fresh ideas come up and explore their platform and try to develop something and come up with solution. Maybe this kind of be a holistic effort, because at the end of the day, like all of us are sitting at home. So this is a time we should actually warm up, get ourselves out of the shabby environment of COVID, and get ourselves to some energetic activities. And that I know this will create a real bondage between your friends. You can actually have some new topic to discuss, something new to explore. And once your college open, after 2 months or 3 months, maybe as soon as possible, you will be all actually have something in your hand to show. So our internship is not that it's not like a typical internship wherein you go and join some organization and they give you some small project or something. Our internship is a little bit different. We want, as I told you, we want to solve your problem. Maybe in your locality you have some problem, you can solve that particular problem. Maybe within in your home you have some problem which you can solve, you can think about. You can solve an ambulance routing system model. That is very important as far as, and this kind of projects actually will bring you and your college in the limelight. That is the best part of it. Do and work something. See the students from IITs and NITs and JU, they are trying to develop some solutions, or they're trying to develop something. Maybe those are not commercially viable, but they're trying to come up with some solutions, which actually bringing their fame and name, and they're trying to do something. So you also come up with some solution, come develop something. Maybe 30 students can work on a project. That's not a big problem. But again, you can deliver something, because that is how you will learn. It will going to give you an AI knowledge. It will give you a leadership capability. You can actually understand that how better you understand the business. You can understand how better you can do the team management. So these all qualities, actually entrepreneurship is not actually doing business. Entrepreneurship is not actually doing some kind of models. Then the researchers are the best people who actually develop the models, right? But entrepreneurship is, you have to be the finance guy, you have to be the HR guy, you have to be the marketing guy, you have to be the technologist, you have to pitch, and you have to do everything. You have to be a good auditor as well. So 7 to 8 people within oneself is basically an entrepreneur. And at the end of the day, that after doing so many things also, you have to face this economic recession, you have to face the odd time, but again, you have to stand tall. So that is actually entrepreneurship. So eventually, yes, our model of internship is in this way only. We try to develop, we try to bring out your real personality from yourself. You know, it's not just assigning you some project and giving you certificate, because I generally don't give certificate like that. So I'm little bit stringent about giving the certificate. So I want that you do real work, you give real hardship, and take the certificate with your pride, because a certificate is nothing but a piece of paper. But a name on a newspaper, a website, or some kind of a deliverable and demonstrable work in your name, or a copyright or a patent, is something which actually you can show to your future employer or investor that, okay, fine, I have did this work during my BTech project. I have did this work. So this is my, this is the certificate. So that is the certificate. A certificate on my letterhead is, you can, it's actually not that valuable as the value of a certificate from Government of India carries, and that will actually change the perception of the recruiter also. Okay, fine, these are the guys who have actually really worked. So they will not going to look at your CGPA or DGPA or SGPA or YGPA and 10th marks and 12th marks and marks in mathematics and physics and chemistry and all these things, because you know, they want skill, and you can show that you are skilled, and that is how the things will going to change and how that beauty of yourself will come out. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir, for this wonderful sessions. And I think there is no more
Yeah,
questions from
thank
students'
you.
end. Thank you, sir. So I, on behalf of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management and the entire team of Institutions Innovation Council and Innovation Club, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to
Thank you very much.
to our speaker, Mr. Shobho Mojumdar, for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and opinions today, sir. So my
Thank you very much.
sincere gratitude to our principal ma'am for her enthusiasm and encouragement to arrange this workshop. And I also wish to express my gratitude to all the HODs of different departments and all the members of Institutions Innovation Council and Innovation Club of GKCM. So thank you to all.
I think, madam, I think you can share my number with the students. So if they have any kind of doubt
sir.
or any.
Okay. Okay, sir. So now the participants is 37. Actually, there's some people are leave away. So, sir, you can put down your number in the chat box, or I have your number with me.
Yeah.
I can also provide them that number, no, sir. What through which I am contacting.
Yes.
Yes. So I will give the number to them. And now you can, sir, provide your number here, this chat box also, so they can.
Yeah, I can provide the number. Just a minute.
Okay.
So I think this effort should be a holistic effort between like our company, you, the faculty members, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
because you are the first point of contact between the students, so you are the bridge, right? So yourself, ourselves can actually, madam has got a vision to build kind of an ecosystem. So where I also appreciate her vision. So keeping that vision as our guiding stone of the future of building your college as a pragmatic AI. So AI is one of the theme I must not say, because you know,
at the institutions they can.
We must.
Means at the institution they can get the theoretical knowledge, but if they just go for the industry and there is internship, so it will be helpful to applications oriented work. They can do applications.
Yeah, actually what I have in my mind, actually I had a plan that actually to establish 2 IBM labs for you. There is a virtual lab which we can create, so and so the students can explore and exploit the these technologies, and they can actually, internship is 2 months, but they can go beyond that. So that can
Beyond
be a
that, yeah.
starting point. The 2 months can be a starting point, and beyond that, they can actually do their BTech projects, and they can actually explore it more and more. So that I had a mind. So so that two things I will be actually helping your college to establish. Maybe I think those labs will be the first of its kind in West Bengal. If I'm not wrong, yeah. So maybe those things, because you'll be having the virtual lab,
Yes.
so your students can work towards it, right?
Yes, yes.
So thank you very much, ma'am. Yeah, thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you, sir.
Moa,
Thank
madam.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
thank you,
was a
sir.
great
Thank you very
interactions
much.
with all of you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
So
Yeah,
thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you to all the participants for being with us. Thank you all. Okay.
yeah. Have a good day. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.